Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time. This time on the Kindness Project, Culinary Insults, literary festivals, and we've got Don from Do Me a Favour, buddy.
Welcome to the Kindness Project. I'm joined by a man who's good at the game, unless it's rummy, because then he keeps losing. Chris Dames.
And I'm joined by a girl who is my daughter, loves Steven Universe, and can aptly be described as a girl in a world of her own, and a planet of non-description. It's Charlotte Dames. How are you, Charlotte?
I'm good.
Now, we did try and record this podcast a couple of times, but because we're both tired, decided to start again.
And our audio stuff is messing up.
And our audio stuff keeps them making about. But our conversation did start with food-related insults. Because
what you egg?
Because did you say that the insult, what you egg, is in Romeo and Juliet?
I think it's in a Shakespearean play, definitely. But I think it might be Romeo and Juliet.
Now, I've got a few favourite food-related insults that I like. You silly sausage is one of them.
Last one, there's a rotten tomato.
And you pilchard is another one. I think every insult should have a little bit of food attached to it. Don't be a donut, could be one. You're as thick as an unsliced loaf. I don't know. I can't think. So another
thick as a block of cheese.
You're as thick as cheddar in my fridge.
As thick as frozen cheddar.
Cheers. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Don't insult me like that. I thought it was quite smart. Anyway, we'd like unofficial question in the podcast to know what your favourite food-related insult is.
Mine is by far what you egg. I
like you pilchard. That's my favourite. However, people can email us at any time they want by just getting in touch via holler@thekindnessproject.co.uk. Find us on Facebook just search The Kindness Project. And on Twitter we are at @hollerkindness. But you've got your own little Twitter login, haven't you?
What? Why am I giving away my Twitter login?
Don't bother then. I'll give mine. @Chris Dames, CHRISDAEMS. I weren't talking about giving away your login. I weren't talking about like sort of just my password is.
Oh no, it's fine. Never use it anyway. @Charlotte J Dames. So CHARLOTTEJDAEMS.
You're more of an Insta girl, aren't you?
More of an Insta girl.
Yeah, I like your Jack of all books Instagram account.
Jack of all words.
Jack of all words Instagram account. That is amazing. You know what I'm excited about this week? The Favour Literary Festival. Because I get
who live outside of Favour.
Yeah, you know how thousands of listeners, most of whom don't live in Havering,
or the country,
they're not going to be aware of our little like Favour Literary Festival, are they? But I am quite excited about it because I get to go along and speak to some authors that I quite like.
I don't know who any of them are on the book this year.
Don't you? Yeah. How about the travel guy, Simon Calder? He's one that should be good. I'm taking Grandad to that one because he's talking about a place that wants Grandad to visit. Grandad wants to visit, but I'm less keen. Chernobyl. Now I don't know. I don't know whether I want to visit there or not, but Grandad definitely does. So we might be going to visit. I think it's a little too morbid, and as it's a nuclear waste site, maybe slightly potentially dangerous for me. But we'll see how we get on.
What Grandad?
I'll ask. Yeah, he's a bit older than me. He's got like less time to worry about, hasn't he? So I'm just. I'm.
Probably ask the official question of the podcast.
Oh yeah, we should do that. So this week's question of the podcast is: would you visit Chernobyl? No. This week's.
The answer is no.
The answer is definitely not. Why would I ever decide to do that? This week's question of the podcast is: what would be your ideal GPS voice? So you can choose your own person to navigate you around the world. Who would you choose?
You asked me this in the car the other day, and every time I think about it, my answer changes.
Go on then.
Because first, who's got a nice voice? Anyone but me.
Anyone but you.
Yeah, I hate
anyone but you.
Voice.
Would you have me in your car?
No.
Charming. But
Not because I hate the sound of your voice. I just hear it all the time anyway.
Right. So far you started off with anyone but me, but now it's anyone but me and you, is what you're telling me, yeah?
And Mum.
And Mum. Oh, how about Soph?
No, Soph's adorable.
Soph's adorable.
It's other than like 9 at night when she's coming into my room asking to watch the Steven Universe.
Why can't I be adorable? I've got qualities. I'm alright. I've got qualities. Anyway, yeah, I would.
Skills.
When it comes to people I'd want on a voicemail, who do I think's got really? You know who I'd have? Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry's got an amazing voice. Love Stephen Fry. You know what I loved? My favourite thing that Stephen Fry ever did? Narrate Little Big Planet. He narrated the game Little Big Planet, and he was amazing on that. If not, I'd go for, and I'm talking about blokes, I'm sure there's a couple of ladies that I'd want to narrate. That French bloke of First Dates. No, the one where you go in and, what's his name?
No idea.
I can't remember.
I don't watch it.
You know the one where they go in the restaurant, you go in somewhere, you just stand up while we're doing the podcast.
I need to readjust.
Yeah, I'd have the French bloke from First Dates going, oh, to left, to right.
I'd have Cecil Baldwin just because I like his.
Oh yeah, from your favourite podcast.
Welcome to Night Vale. He plays Cecil Palmer.
So listeners, we'd like to hear your comments. We'd like to know who you'd have as your GPS voice as you navigate the world. Let us know today, or tomorrow, or sometime this week, before next week. That'd be amazing.
Or just tell us 1,000 years from now, and we'll probably not hear it from the grave, but you know.
So this week we are interviewing a guy who could safely be described as quite an amazing dude.
Wow.
It's Don from Do Me a Favour, Buddy. Now I'm going to let Don tell, because you were in on this interview, weren't you?
No, I don't think this was one of the ones I was in.
I think it was. I think you met Don.
I don't recognise the name or the business. The business app, whatever. I don't recognise.
Okay, you weren't there, but he did give you a T-shirt. Let's listen to his interview. So, Don, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, really good. And we've already had a lesson in good eating for breakfast, which I love. Can you explain to our listeners Burke muesli? Because I'm into this.
Muesli is basically this. It's a very kind of special kind of muesli that was invented by a Swiss scientist.
Okay.
And, it's really good for breakfast. It's got lots of fruit. It's got lots of nuts and things like that in it. It's a very good way to start.
You know what? I've been rubbish with nutrition over the past few years, but I'm now focused a bit more on it. And I'm a rubbish cook, but the only thing I can cook is an omelette. So I love a good spinach, ham and cheese omelette in the morning. I absolutely love it. So you've come on to talk about Do Me a Favour, Buddy, and I'm really excited about talking about that.
Yeah.
But before we talk about that particular project, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I'm from South London.
Okay.
I'm a product of...
Thanks for travelling north of the river. I mean, clearly north of the river is the best part of London. So how long have you lived in South London?
Actually, all my life. Basically, all my life, yeah. So my parents are from Cameroon, which is in West Africa.
Yeah.
They came over in the 70s, and basically I was born here. My sisters grew up here.
Okay.
So raised on the council estate. You know, very humble beginnings, backgrounds, and then I ended up becoming a scientist, a research manager.
Okay.
So,
how many sisters have you got?
I've got two younger sisters. One's a psychologist, and the other one does work with NGOs like
charity work. Yeah. So good work goes throughout your family, I'd imagine. Yeah. Do you reckon that's something to do with your mum and dad?
I think so.
In what way?
That kind of foundation, because my mother is very kind of. She's got very strong morals. Okay. And I think she really instilled that in us.
Okay.
And to give us the kind of bigger picture that we're all connected.
Yeah. And what's you got into science because you're interested in it. What still gives you that buzz today?
Do you know what? It's actually helping people and seeing the direct impact of your actions.
Okay.
So through my job, I've travelled all around the world. I've been to like hospitals in Brazil, hospitals in Eastern Europe. Yeah. And it's when you're there talking to the doctors, seeing how passionate about their work that they are. Yeah. And you see like, often like currently I'm working a lot with children. Yeah. Just see them like, getting better as a result. Your actions are indirectly.
And the research you do, is that in a particular area of medicine?
Yeah, I'm working on a very rare disease at the moment called chromatopsia. Okay. And it's basically a genetic defect, which means that the patients are born without the ability to see colour. So
yes. Yeah, okay, okay.
And we're working with a new drug that kind of
potentially could change that. Yeah, yeah. Amazing. How far from a cure or a drug that changes that?
Results are looking good so far.
Good, good. It's a long process, isn't it? It's science. How long have you been working on it?
I've been working on it since actually the beginning of this year.
Okay, so quite a short period of time. Yeah. And tell me about it. So that's the day job.
That's the day job.
And like us with the Kindness Project, we've got this little sort of hobby around goodwill and kindness. And your one is Do Me a Favour, buddy. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, this is my this is the Batman to my Bruce Wayne. Yeah, so it's this platform that's basically it came about because one time I was going to be made homeless. My new landlord decided to hike up my rents. Right. And I found myself facing homelessness within a month or so. Oh. I really didn't know what to do.
So you were renting?
I was renting, and I didn't know what to do. I was actually, living in a different city, so I didn't have friends around me, and I had a really, really demanding job. Actually, I was just kind of starting off in the field of clinical research. And it's a very steep learning curve. Sure. You have to work very long hours and all this kind of stuff to get really on the ladder and everything like that. So you can imagine a whole day in the office. I'm too tired when I get home to actually look for anything. Yeah. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. So one day I basically was just complaining on the phone to a friend of mine, and to say I'm going to be homeless. What a predicament. And then he said, he knows somebody that lives in my area, and, I should basically talk to this guy. And I was like, I don't know what use that would be, Yeah. And he's like, no, give this guy a call, I'll put you two together, and, we'll see what happens. And then, so I called this guy, and I'm kind of mysterious, so I was like, well, this is my situation, and I'm working these long hours, and he was also saying that he's kind of working different hours, but we can't really kind of meet because our hours are just kind of crossing.
Not working.
And then I was like, well, this has been a pointless
conversation.
Thanks for nothing. It was like, no. Just let me know what you're looking for, and we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can help you. Okay. And then, to my surprise, this guy went out, was looking at flats.
On your behalf?
On my behalf, filling out forms. Right. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. The whole time he's reporting back to me. I was like, well, you're going to kill me at the end of this. All right, this is at the end of the story that I'm going to end up as a specimen jar inside your fridge or something like that. And he's like, and he wouldn't take any money as well, which just made things even worse. I was so frustrated. I was like, I just need to give you something.
And he's putting a lot of time into finding his flat.
Out his time and effort to sort this thing out for me. So he ended up helping me get this really, really nice flat. It was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I begged him that, I'm not going to let anybody else come over. And, I want you to be the first person.
Yeah, because you helped me so much. Yeah. So, and at this point, had you met?
No.
Right.
And so it was also the first time meeting face to face, showing him the flat and everything. Of course he'd seen the flat because he'd found the flat for me, but just being there together. So I cooked him a meal to say thank you. And then I just, as we were there, it was like we were catching up like old friends, because, all the times we were speaking over the phone or texting each other.
Gotcha.
We built a friendship. So when we finally met face to face, I was relieved he wasn't a serial killer, and then I just asked him, I said, look, I'm sorry, I know I asked you before, but why? Why would you help me? You hadn't, you knew my friend, but you didn't know me. We're essentially strangers, why? And then he simply said to me, he enjoyed it, one, and he said, well, if I help you, you help me, everybody happy. And it just kind of cut through everything, like a knife. And I just kept thinking about this over and over again. Like, one, why did he say he enjoyed it? I mean, I know it feels good to help people, but it was like he was actually looking for this opportunity.
Yeah.
So it just made me kind of, I don't know, go on a kind of pilgrimage, like to think about being mindful about helping people. And this whole phrase about I help you, you help me, everybody happy, it just kind of stuck in my head. And so as I was going
So when was this? This was a while ago?
This was many, many years ago. This was about 14 years ago.
Okay.
So I spent, I think it was about 6 months just going out and just pushing myself into opportunities. So it didn't matter what else, like helping a lady take a buggy upstairs or like actively trying to volunteer and do something. And I felt really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this yourself.
You know, it's really interesting because I think it's like one of those. It's like one of those challenges where you know when you buy a new car or you buy a new shirt. Let's take a shirt for example. I bought a pink shirt about 6 months ago. Some people say it's salmon. I'm still going for pink. But when I bought that shirt, I suddenly started noticing people who were wearing pink shirts. And if you buy anything and you're conscious of it, you just notice more of that stuff happening. Since starting the Kindness Project, and we've been working on it, my daughter and I now for a couple of years, we notice opportunities to be kind all over, whereas previously we didn't. And it's interesting how it takes a bit of a mindset shift. Like the world's not a different place, but the way that I perceive those opportunities is interesting. And it sounds like you went through that same process.
It was like the scales falling from my eyes.
Yeah.
Because not only, I mean, I felt, you see the smile on somebody's face, or a random stranger gives you a hug, or just a thank you, or even if they don't, you get that warm feeling as well. It's really, you've done something, you made a difference, you know. It's
really interesting. There's a really good book about kindness by a guy called Dr. David Hamilton. I don't know if you've read it.
No, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really good. So, interestingly, his background was in pharmaceutical research. And he left that to talk about the chemical effects of kindness. And his take on it is actually kindness is doing something good for somebody else. It's actually quite a selfish thing to do because you benefit from it. But it's I don't think it's disingenuous to say that when somebody helps you, they get a benefit from it as well. And why not? Do you know what I mean? You win, as you say, you both win out of that trend, that situation.
Actually, it's funny you say that because I don't know if you've seen this viral clip. It was from Glastonbury.
Okay.
And it was this rapper called Dave.
I did, the guy who got on the stage,
Exactly. And if you look at the anatomy of that he appears to be doing a favour for the guy in the crowd, you know, but actually it's the other way around.
That guy was amazing, by the way, wasn't he? He had it down to pat.
Definitely. Yeah. Because like he brings him up on stage, and Dave just tells him, well, you know, just do that verse. And he ends up doing the whole song. And
he was brilliant.
He was brilliant. And then if you see the after effects of that, so Dave's song has gone back into the charts again.
Exactly.
Alex has become famous. Changed his life as well. So you get
there's a double win, isn't there?
There's a double transformation that's going on. It's amazing.
No, I absolutely love it. So that initial idea then evolved into what?
It's really funny because after just really realising that I wanted to create a platform because I had been in this predicament that I couldn't find anybody to help me. So I was like, well, I want to do something that will benefit people that are in my predicament, that they have nobody around them to help. So I've got no IT experience or anything like this. So I was like, okay, I want to create this platform. So I went back to the original friend that set me up and my new friend who helped me. And then we embarked upon a comedy of errors because we tried to outsource this to like coders in India. You know, we tried to like set up all these like workforce people that could come in. It was just a nightmare. It didn't work. I mean, I think you can search online and see like the original version in the in the Internet Archive. It was very, very transactional. It's like I want this, I want that, and there was just something that was missing, and it just failed miserably. And the thing that was missing was kindness itself. It was people power. And it got us to the point where my friend and I were not even talking. It had ruined our friendship.
Right.
Yeah, because we were just thinking of it as a business, and these things, they just don't work.
Yeah.
So one day, just by serendipity, I went walking in the park in the rain, feeling sorry for myself, and he's there as well, in the park as well, just jogging. We were like, oh, this is really kind of weird. So we were like walking around, we hadn't spoken for months.
Okay.
Walking around in the rain, gingerly looking at each other, like, oh, well, yeah, this thing didn't work. And then we start thinking about the story again, how did it come about?
Yeah.
I help you, you help me, everybody happy. Just kept thinking about this. And we were like, but why don't we just ask our friends? If we don't have the skills, let's ask our friends. So that's what we did. We told them about the story. Then they asked their friends, and they asked their friends, and they asked their friends. And then we just had people literally from around the world adding bits and built this website. It's got people in Jamaica that worked on it, people in the Ukraine, people in Portugal, people here in...
Inspired by the story.
Yes, it was incredible. It was incredible. Until we built this platform.
Amazing.
Here it is. Here it is.
And what's the future look like for the platform? So how long have you launched for?
So we've kind of relaunched actually at the beginning of July.
Okay. So it's still early days for the relaunch.
But so far so good. In fact, this weekend we are being featured in the We Out Here Festival in Cambridge.
Okay.
So shout out to Giles Peterson and the whole crew. They actually asked us to become official partners.
Amazing.
So we're being kindness ambassadors at the festival.
Love it.
We're matching people together to do acts of kindness.
Yeah, because that would be quite a good environment to make connections.
So
and
it's
been
amazing so far. So I can't wait. And also I'll be filming a documentary, so collecting stories of kindness from people there that happen there at the festival. So
where's that going to be shared? Is that for a documentary standalone or on the platform, or what are you thinking?
So we'll do an edit for YouTube, for Instagram. We'll try and release it as a film in its own right. We'll just try and push it as far as we can.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah. I loved your video, by the way. I genuinely haven't laughed so much at a promotional video. Bear in mind that I work in financial services. It's all super dull for a long time. I absolutely loved it. Is that looked like a bit of a collaborative piece, like getting people involved as well?
All the people in that video are our friends of ours.
Yeah. So they helped you out. Yeah. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So that was Don. What did you think of it?
It was good.
Good. Let's crack on with the end of the show.
'Tis the end.
It is the end, and that might be it, because I can't find what last week's question of the podcast is. What do you collect was the last week's question of the podcast. And did you have an answer for this or not, Charlotte?
I collect collections. I distinctly remember saying I have lots of trading cards, I have lots of rocks, I have lots of bracelets that I don't wear.
Well, we had some amazing answers for this one. I'll start with Kathleen Keat, who said, broken dreams and grudges. That's what she collects. Lucy Patrick said glasses stolen from pubs. Stuart Winder said bad experiences and insane exes. Claire Foster said plants.
Oh, I wish I could.
Alison Hagen is a girl after my own heart, because she said books to add to the pile of things I need to read and don't get around to. Welcome to my world.
It's the opposite of me. I'll get a book, I'll read it within a day, and then I'll have nothing to read. It's like...
Don Kirk said points in the gym. Welcome to my world. Don goes to my gym. Mike Christie said football boots. Roberta White said good memories. Yeah, I collect a fair amount of good memories. Amanda Smith said Heartstones and trainers. Steve Dan from the gym said grey hair. I'm getting there on that one, Steve. Andrew Berwick said I 3D print knickknacks. Now I thought knickknacks were crisps. I didn't. What do you mean?
The little things that you just like little.
Mandy Medlock said pretty boxes. Al McCann said I collect dust unless I move around a bit. How long as you stay in one place? Glenn May said vinyl, Blu-rays, games, and more than anything, cables. I know. I opened a drawer and I've got, what's that cable for? I don't know.
Oh, that's for the wheel we got out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Gaffney said dust, dog hair, and files documents. Lol.
Lol.
I don't know what. I don't know what one is lolling about, but we'll soon find out. Anyway, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time on the Kindness Project.
Bye.